Good evening. Welcome back to FPL Double Pivot. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a Merry Christmas. I'm FPL Veteran, and alongside me is FPL Discomfort. Kieran, how are you doing? Merry Christmas. Talk to me. Busy? I think he's ill.
Merry
We were
Christmas.
chatting
Yeah,
earlier, and
I
he's quite
am.
an ill gentleman.
I am. I've got the Folkestone flu, as Baker put it. Do you know, I shot myself in the foot. I was round at my parents on the 22nd, and
Yeah.
was boasting to my mum about commuting to and from London the whole way through the winter, and I've not been sick. And I think it's because I'm
Oh,
in better shape now, and I'm working out, and I'm eating healthily. And look, I touched wood at the time. Now, either they have a fake wooden dining table, or that whole touch wood doesn't count for anything. Because I then popped round to see my sister and my nieces, and I then got home and I felt like absolute death. So I'm about a week into it, coughing quite a bit. So I might mute myself throughout this today. Apologies to everyone if I do, and you're going to do a lot of this hearing. But no, look, Christmas was good. I managed to Christmas Day was spent with my sister, my parents around at my sister's. Then Boxing Day we had loads of people around at my parents, and we had a bit of a sleepover with like the adults, etc. Sent the kids to bed. Adults had a sleepover. My dad poured
nice.
about 20 shots for me, essentially, of just going, try this Czech drink. Right. The first one he gave me and one of his friends, right? He just brought over a glass bottle, no labels, clear liquid. And we're like, nah. And with my dad being Irish, I thought it would be Pachin, and I thought, look, this is an aggressive way to start the day after Boxing Day, or Boxing Day itself. Actually, this is an aggressive 8 p.m. drink here. And he went, it's not Pachin, it's a drink from Czechia, and it was the most vile shot I'd ever had, Shane. It was disgusting. So yeah, lots of stuff like that done. I managed to convince myself I wasn't ill to get through the Christmas period. So when you're just pretending and you're sitting there and you're in the distance. And I think that's now all caught up with me the days later, where now I'm at home, I'm kind of out of it. But look, that's me rambling on. Managed to talk there without coughing, so I'm proud of myself. How about yourself? How was yours? You've obviously got family of your own, so a little bit more exciting, I imagine.
Well, that's it, mate. Although I am like a kid, as the missus will probably tell most people. Yeah, I love Christmas, mate. It's good. It's got lights up, all that stuff. We have the Christmas tree up from early. I'm talking November early, proper, yeah. So it was good. Santa came. We had a good meal. What we tend to do, actually, I don't know if anyone else does it. We get a Chinese on Christmas Day, and then we do a Christmas dinner on Boxing Day. It's just a Scottish way. It's not. I think that's just how we roll. But it just lets us, spend a little bit longer. You don't have all the cooking and stuff like that. Although I kind of secretly like that sometimes. But no, it's
Shane,
been
we're
good. It's
gonna
been hectic,
lose.
mate.
We're gonna lose viewers with you having a Chinese, that Sophie Corcoran that everyone memes for having her Tesco curry on Christmas Day for Christmas dinner. You're as bad as that, mate.
I mean,
You're having
God, Tesco. Oh, come on, it's at least a takeaway. But yeah, well, I don't know. See
mate, what kind of a takeaway is open on Christmas Day? What is this?
The Chinese. Yes. Maybe it's a Scottish thing. Is it not an English thing? No.
It's not. Do you know what? One of my mates
thing,
actually, one of my friends in Folkestone, he had 12 people coming around for Christmas dinner. They were cooking. And I spoke to him on the 21st or 22nd, and I went, you got all the food in, you're prepping it all? And he went, no. What are you doing? He went, mate, I'm going Christmas Eve. And he went on Christmas Eve, and he was one of the ones that nailed it. He went to Marks and Spencer's on Christmas Eve, got a turkey that feeds 12 people for 40 quid. He basically got everything for about 30% of the price. Genius. It's a gamble when you do that, but I tell you what, considering the prices that people pay for turkey and Christmas dinner, maybe it is worth the risk.
Flapping crazy, if you will. That's a dad joke. That one's for free. Didn't get in the cracker. You can have that one. Just a quick hi to everyone who's in the chat. We've got loads in the chat. FPL Marcello's in the chat. We've got Geddy. We've got Colm. We've got Eddie. We've got Paul. We've got Heather. God, everyone's in. Everyone, thanks for joining us at Christmas. There's a lot more stuff you could be doing. You could be watching darts. You could be playing with stuff you got for Christmas. But you joined us, so thanks very much. We're going to cover Game Week 19. We're going to talk team matchups. We're going to talk predictions that we've done. Little spoiler, Shane done pretty well again, but we'll come on to that. We'll talk on to bus teams. Kieran's got a better team than me, so that's probably the better thing to have. He's still smashing it.
Shane, as we jump into all of this, and I think it's quite... How many weeks ago did we get 5 free transfers?
2? Was it 2?
It was. And,
He's just gone.
how many transfers have you used prior to this upcoming game week?
None yet. I've not made any for this game week.
No, but
yeah, I've used all 5.
And
another 2.
Cool. All right. Well, look, let's get into it. Obviously, if we're going to be talking about people taking risks on a Christmas dinner, we can talk about Shane taking risks with his FPL team, and a few other things. Interestingly, I don't know if you noticed it, Shane. I don't know if anyone else did on the thumbnail, but I had it as game week 18. I'm so out of it at the moment. We missed a week, and I had the thumbnail and everything as game week 18 whilst we were preparing us sort of 5 minutes before. I've managed to change it all, so we'll see if it works. I do like your Christmassy background here, though, mate.
It's good, isn't it? It's good.
It is.
They've come accustomed to that. Even though we're doing well this season, Kieran, they've become accustomed to this like graphical, and we're getting there. We are getting there. We're keeping it closer to an hour. We're getting there. We're improving graphics every day. I mean, look at that face on the left, Kieran. That ginger face on the left. It gets better.
Also, talking about the graphics, I know we've been meshing back and forth, right? What do you think? This works, right?
Yeah. Everyone in the chat, see what you put in. What do you think of the graphics? Give us a feedback. Give us a thumbnail.
Do you reckon this is still similar quality? Look, a couple of other things that I've already noticed in here. We better just address it. You said hi to everyone here. We have had straight away. Heather said stop to your Chinese on Christmas Day.
Oh, sorry.
But we've had Geddy saying that he has steak and chips on Christmas Day.
There you go.
I can get behind that. I'm not going to lie. A good steak. If we're talking like a porterhouse. So something here, like whole family, like big, I can get behind that, provided Geddy, and I think you are, provided you're a man that can cook a good steak. Because there's people out there that just can't cook a good steak. But people like Erling Haaland and people like Geddy, they're the ones that can cook a good steak. Who else did we have in here? They were cooking, Marcelo said. Did they also buy Wirtz? Sore subject. We'll come on to that in a bit. Heather doesn't do turkey. She has roast beef and ham instead.
Beef. Ooh,
look, if you have anything else unusual on Christmas Day, then obviously this is the place for you to be, because at least one of us is unusual. No, we're both unusual. So please do continue to share what you've had there. But look, thought I'd just route through a couple of those, Shane. But let's jump into your team. I didn't like the image you shared with me because it just had the 33 points. So I went on, and I've got the one that has the -4 there as well, just so we know it's.
Oh, thank you. Do you know what anyway, let's start at the back. I had double Brentford defence. I had done well until DCL just started scoring goals because he likes ruining people's teams for Christmas. Thank you for that, you big Grinch. Although they still got 4 points, you know what I mean? Got defensive contributions, and Keller got 8 saves, mate. So I'm glad I've got them moving forward. Chalobah got 0 points, conceded 2 yellow cards. Listen, he's been doing well, so he was due a 0 pointer or a 1 pointer. O'Reilly, City concede again, man. They concede again. They always have been. He's in there for the potential upside, but I'm kind of thinking now, where's this upside? It's not been too much. LaCroix doing what he can. Palace are getting a little bit, tired, but 3 points. I didn't get any better from there, really, mate. I had Gordon, Foden, and Rodgers, 2, 2, and 1. Haaland up top, the captain. Ekitike 5, and Saka for the 7. Captaincy-wise, I didn't really think of anybody else. I was probably thinking more Foden than Haaland, but I went for Haaland. Didn't think the risk was there. I know Forrest, Milenkovic played really well. He's a big, strong guy, and he put Haaland a little bit to the sword the other day. But yeah, sometimes in games, Forrest can just get battered a bit. But listen, they played really, really well. And yeah, the -4 I took was Bruno out, Gordon in, and Thiago out, Ekitike in. And again, Kieran, there's a few times this season where I've not listened to myself. At the start of the week, I was like, right, I'm set on Wirtz, Ekitike. Let it go for a while. I'm not really bothered about value this year because we've got a lot of money so far. And I thought, do you know what? As it went on, shall I just keep Thiago? Do you know what I mean? Because he's playing a Bournemouth away, they've been shocking. They conceded 4, and actually, even though he got an assist, he should have got a goal as well. He could have had a massive haul. But yeah, I didn't. The Gordon attracted me a lot. He was probably their best attacking player, but that was a dreadful game. That United Newcastle was a dreadful game.
I feel guilty, Shane.
Go on.
I do feel guilty, right? Because you were messaging me beforehand going, hey, can we do a stream on Boxing Day? And, I think if we did, then you would have bought in Wirtz. So that's kind of on me for not being available for that. So, I apologise.
I don't think so. I think
I would have. I was very firm on Wirtz. Like, I'd done Wirtz within a second of the game. I was planning Wirtz for Bruno before Bruno was injured. Like, I'd messaged Marcelo saying, I'm either getting rid of Saka or Bruno for Wirtz. Like before, and then when Bruno got injured, it was then just like a no-brainer on that. But he has lasagna in his household. And
lasagna.
Andrew had
I like it.
It's a Christmas dinner followed by a prawn or seafood cocktail. Normally, I've had a bit the other way round there.
That's very classy.
And then Marcello also had one. Paul likes his steak, and
cooks a good steak.
Cool.
Man. I like this.
But look, I guess talking through your side, like this was a week where unless you had certain players, you didn't do well, right? Unless you had Wirtz, unless you had Sade, unless you had Dorgu or even a Van der Ven, which annoyed me because I posted my wildcard draft or a Shirky as well. These players all annoyed me because they were all in my wildcard draft before they'd all played. So like Van der Ven, I was back and forth with a few people going, why do you like him? Then he gets an 11-pointer the other day and they're like, oh, I get why you like him now. Like, yeah, I didn't even expect it in that fixture. But yeah, look, your team was fine on paper. It was just unlucky, right?
You can't have. I was thinking that, like, and actually, it was a bit frustrating because I'm up to 120k and I was 55k, but the points are so close, and you can't have a good game week every game. You know what I mean? It's one of them, and actually, it's been creeping in where I did look midweek at my rank this week, and I've just had to tail it back a bit, Kieran. Of stay true to how I play it. Do you know what I mean? Don't look midweek because it doesn't matter until the end of the week. If anything, it's probably always going to be a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? Your probably rank will always be worse than what you looked previous. So,
do you know what was interesting though? This was the first time where I was editing the slides where I had to change the arrow on the sides to a red arrow for you.
I'll take that.
So like, it's one of those, right? You've been on a good run. A red arrow is inevitable. Like semi-casual, I think, had been on 12 green arrows in a row and got a red arrow. You can't get a green arrow every week. It's just not.
No, you can't.
You will be at the detriment to one of your weeks if you keep chasing a green arrow each week.
Exactly. And the week before I had a good week, you know, that pushed me up with the bench boost. I'm fairly set going forward. I want to make a few changes. But
mate, 120k before the midway mark is mental, right?
Exactly. And Rodgers, you know, the ball through to Watkins, and you know, if Watkins finishes that first time, he gets an assist. It was unfortunate because it came off the keeper, it hit Watkins again and it went in. So yeah, it's fine margins. And like you're saying, unless you had one player, I mean, the safety was 44, 46. So yeah, one player made all the difference. But moving forward, I'm just having to reassess. And kind of, again, the eye test has been massive, man. I've been doing a lot of enhanced highlights and match of the day. And it's going well so far for us. Better for you, but it's going well for us both. So it's good. It was an all right game. And do you know what was good about that, Kieran? It was Christmas and it still didn't bother, like it didn't overly bother me. You've got to expect bad game weeks and you know, your rank going down. If not, when it happens, you just put yourself more in a downer and then it'll affect your decision going forward. So, nah, it was one of them, mate. It was an all right one. It could have been worse. Could have always been worse. You know what I mean? Mick McCarthy. Oh, it can definitely get worse. So it was okay. But anyway, we're all here from your team, Kieran. So get in your team.
So interestingly, like you said, the average was 44. I got 45 and I got a red arrow. So that was a little bit. Dropped down from just above 4K to just below 5K. So you take it again, like for a red arrow to not change that. It's funny because you read it on the things and it's like 28% red arrow. And you're like, no. And you're like, wait, that's 1,000 places. Like a 1,000 places I'd take all day long. The thing that I am kicking myself for, though, is this. I posted and semi-casual was on me the entire week for it. The second the fixtures finished, I had bought in Wirtz, I'd captained him, and I said, see you all on Boxing Day. If I just left my phone and done nothing, I'd be on 53 points, right? And I should have been on 53 points. Every time I posted anything on extra in that week, semi-casual commented underneath it going, is it Boxing Day? Right? So he was there just going like, Kieran, put your phone down to that extent. And I can't even tell you why I changed to Haaland. There was nothing for it. I thought that Forest could win 2-1 in that game. I thought that Deitch had started to pull them together. Forest are looking solid. I was fully behind it. I thought he'd be limited for chances. And I don't even know why I changed. Like there was no logic. Maybe it was as I was scanning through and I saw loads of bust teams with him in it. And I just went, what are you doing? Maybe, and I think this is a good chance of it. maybe I knew that it was a game that I'd be able to watch on TV, having had no football for a few days, right? And therefore, the ability to get to watch your captain rather than fear a player led me towards it. I don't know, but there was nothing about me that wanted to do that. But yeah, just reading through the team, Kelleher, 4 points. I hated that Semenyo goal because he was on for like a... Well, he was on for an 11-pointer.
He done nothing all game as well.
But Kelleher had max bonus at that point, so he was on for an 11-pointer. O'Reilly, we've already discussed it, but like O'Reilly's just the worst of the City defenders, it feels like, because he doesn't get DEFCON. The others are getting the assists and goals, and yeah. Hincapié did his job, got a little yellow card, but he served his place of covering some Arsenal defence when needed, and a lot of people were without an Arsenal defender this week, right? So a bit unfortunate to lose the clean sheet there and not punish people with the Timber and Calafiori injuries. Senesi, the hardest way to earn 2 points. Concede 4 goals, play 90 minutes and get your DEFCON. So he saved himself from a Chalobah 0. And then Nordi Mukiele, right? The guy that just keeps delivering DEFCON at the moment. Another 4 points from him. Wirtz in there in the midfield with a 10-pointer. Saka with his 7, Foden with his 2. I did keep Thiago. So I got him and Ekatike with their 5s and Haaland capped for a massive 4 points. So, yeah, slight rank drop. Game week rank of 5.9 million, which is not ideal. But, hey, it only dropped me 1,000 places. So we take it.
Yeah, and a lot of people still had chips to use this week as well, Kieran. A lot of people use bench boost or free hit. So, yeah, we faced that as well. So, all in all, especially for you anyway.
Do you know what's brilliant? And again, I think it's always useful to remind people that listen to pods. I'm sure a lot of people listen to FML FPL, but they had one of their producers on today, or on their one this week, because he's playing his wild card. He's playing his wild card because it's the last week to use the wild card. He didn't realise that it was the last week to use it. So he's also got a free hit and a triple captain that he needs to use and can't.
Oh.
Which is kind of an interesting thing, right? What, Chip, if you were coming into game week 19 and you only now just realised that you have to use the chips and you had triple captain, bench boost and wild card left, which one would you use?
Probably
it depends on your team, right?
Like free hit in it, I suppose. Yeah,
but it depends on
team. Yeah.
I think free hits out the window probably. Although looking at Marcello's stuff,
isn't it?
Yeah, depends how you like your team for the other one. But yeah, just
I think I'd use the wild card. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had one. Some people do have a wild card to use, Kieran, don't they? I don't, unfortunately. So I don't have that.
But I guess for me, like, it's just a reminder that like we might live in the bubbles and listen to content and stuff like this, right? This is someone that literally helps produce one of the shows, and he didn't know, right? So like that is how advanced we all are just for knowing about using the chips in a weird way.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what? I think like you're saying, captaincy on Wirtz. I think it was the right decision to put on Haaland. Forest have been playing well, but in a few games they've still been getting beat fairly well. Spurs beat them the other day 3-0. And Wirtz, he was untested. All right, he scored against Wolves, like brilliant. Okay, and he has been playing better. But the lineup in that Liverpool team, mate, I looked at it and I was like, oh, McAllister 10, Wirtz on one side, Frimpong right back. He's just come back. I was a bit like, not sure where they're going to get it from, and they scraped the 2-1. So in hindsight, I think Haaland's the better captaincy. I genuinely think. I don't think it was worth the risk. Put it that way. Do you know what I mean?
It wasn't a risk. I just felt like I'd seen everything, right? There was so many things. Now, there was the eye test, which you're a big fan of, right? He'd been better and better over each of the games. He was then playing against one of the worst teams who I agree with what people are saying about how defensive they can be, but that just creates opportunities for that 10 person playing in the 10 to take shots outside the box and to be the creator. There was no one else in that team able to create except for him. And my favourite one, and this is a rhetoric that annoys people, which is why I like it, because it is not logical, it's nothing, it's just a fun link. But, people say German players that come over often struggle in the Prem, blah, blah, blah. So Kai Havertz, Timo Werner. Well, Kai Havertz scored a hat-trick against Fulham the season they got relegated. Scored a brace against Fulham the season they got relegated. And Timo Werner twice scored a brace against Southampton. So the logics are German players can score a brace against teams that are going to get relegated.
Well, that's the thing. Listen, we all can agree he's a good player. He's a phenomenal player. I think the price was a little bit too high, and there is a threshold on what people should pay for players, in my opinion. But he is too good to continue at the rate he's continued. You know what I mean? I know he scored a goal, but he will get assists, especially Salah, the team being at AFCON and stuff like that. They have to rely on him, and he will play better. But I'm just a bit, apprehensive on him just now, and he could blank for the next few. He could. Leeds are tough. Leeds are tough, especially at Anfield. Do you know what helped them? I think as well. Do you know what helped Nottingham Forest? The death of Scottish legend John Robertson. I think that probably G'd them up a little bit extra, maybe that extra 5-10%, because they're playing for him as well, and he was such a legend at the club. So there's all these things. And actually, before I forgot, it was early kickoff. Done it again. Early kickoff, baby. It's a real thing. People are like, but it's an urban legend.
But the Friday had already happened. Mate. The Friday had happened.
Yeah, but it's still an early kickoff. All right, you mean the early kickoff from the first game? Yeah, but even just an early kickoff, man. I do get in my head. Yeah, I think moral story is there's plenty of opportunity to go against Haaland.
Just thinking timing wise, I also dropped you over a note on WhatsApp, Shane, just about timing for the rest of the show, just how I'm feeling. So just heads up for you to double check that.
Indeed.
But we will move briefly onto the scores and not spend too much time on them. I guess, Shane, probably what the best thing to do is you've been on a run recently of correct scores, and we'll kind of jump straight ahead to it. But in the last 2 game weeks, you've got 5 correct scores. I've got none, and you have skyrocketed to 90 points ahead of me in the predictions. So why don't you talk us through some of these games and, the ones that you saw, that you called the scores with, and, I'll give you get 2 minutes. It's over to you.
2 minutes. Here we go. Recap. Right. I watched the United Newcastle game and it was absolutely atrocious. Both sides were shocking. Man United needed a defender to score or have a worldie, or the best game he's had so far, and score a worldie to beat Newcastle. Newcastle all over them, 67% possession at home, away. And yeah, it was just, what do you call it? What the hell? Decision making in the final third. That was the issue for Newcastle. Ties into Wilfamadi. I've got no intention to get him. Visser, genuinely, I think Visser could start the next match if he is fit enough. I don't know if we rate Wilfamadi. Other places, prediction-wise, mate, I got City 2-1. I got that. I got Liverpool 2-1. A lot of people thought that, they were going to batter them. They didn't. Wolves have kind of slowed down or stopped the rot recently. Same as Burnley. They drew 0-0 with Everton. Me and you both had Everton 1-0. Thought they'd squeak it, but no Grealish. That made a huge difference. No really outlet, no attacking threat. Brentford, I put 2-1. I think you put 3-1. I didn't see another 4 conceded by Bournemouth, but we have to start looking at that now. Elsewhere, Arsenal, listen, really, I think you had the same as me, 2-0. It really should have been Arsenal 2-0. Brighton had nothing. David Raya, by the way, we'll get you on this, Kieran. What a save. I was watching my little boy, and I was like, wow. Someone scores a worldie. We watched that, pulled off that save. I was like, that's probably save of the season, mate. That was an outstanding save. Elsewhere, just a recap, just to finish it off. West Ham losing 1-0 again at Fulham, who are down to bare bones. Looks like they might be sacking Nuno, which I don't think would help anything. Villa, another way win, 2-1. Really, really well. And at Emery, tactical genius, mate. Changes it up and look what happens. And then Sunderland Leeds, 1-1. I had Sunderland win 1-0. Leeds came back. DCL is haunting me. It's like Halloween for DCL for me, mate. Last game of the week was Spurs. I had Spurs 2-0 against Palace. Palace are tired, they're leggy. They're a little bit, again, down to bare bones. It was a good game week. It was varied, plenty of 3 o'clock kickoffs. A lot of them went to plan, but Kieran, there was a few that didn't go to plan, mate. There was a few predictions that didn't. Was there any of you that shocked you? I don't think there was too many shocks, really, apart from probably the Bournemouth battering again.
Yeah, it's weird. I look at it and there's no results that stand out that are particularly surprising. I guess I was surprised Newcastle didn't score, and I think they were unlucky not to score. Would be one of the takeaways. And yeah, I guess you said it a while ago, and I think now it's true. It wasn't so much true when you were saying it about 9 game weeks ago, but the fixtures have definitely caught up with Palace. Losing on penalties in the League Cup definitely would have been an impact to them as well, because they'd won every penalty shootout, right? They'd won the Community Shield on shootouts. They'd won the shootouts to get to this stage. So that would have been a bit of a shock for them. And what a game that was. Like, how many penalties did that take?
Yeah.
And interestingly, that led to me benching Lacroix last week because he'd scored an own goal, missed the penalty. Like, put you last on my bench. And he could have scored and he could have got an assist against Spurs. So I think Spurs still look super leaky, would be one thing I'd just touch upon.
They do. And I think, again, there wasn't many, that we could pull out. I think we have to recondition ourselves to how teams are playing, right? First one's Burnley. Burnley at home aren't a batter. They don't get battered at home, all right? So, if you've got players against Burnley and they're away to Burnley at home, I would just, kind of hold back on what you think their potential and their ceiling could be. Same with Wolves, even away at Anfield, 2-1. They put up a good fight, especially on the day, it was very, very emotional with Yacht and stuff, which, by the way, if anyone saw it, I can imagine probably wasn't a dry eye in any house, let alone at Anfield. But yeah, I think we have to reassess. I think genuinely, the United Newcastle, everyone's now jumping on United, and I think United have turned a corner because they beat Newcastle, who were shocking away, absolutely shocking, who still should have won. For me, I've got no intention to get any of the players, Kieran. Absolutely none. Not Cunha. Cunha looked all right, and there's maybe a few chances where you should have maybe put them away. But here's my question to you, Kieran. At United, they score next week. Who's going to assist? Who's going to make that? Mason Mount, Sesko, Casemiro. Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. Who's going to be assisting Cunha? I don't see it. I don't get it. And I get the
I do.
I don't, man. I say to
you, but at the same time, like this game's written, right? It's the whole rhetoric. It's playing his old team, a team that he used to single-handedly carry and bail their manager out, who was like one of the worst managers ever in Gary O'Neill.
Yeah.
We know about my agenda against Cunha and him shooting from stupid XG positions, right? And continuing to score. This season, interestingly, he's taking more shots from better positions and now not scoring, which is probably the interesting thing. So maybe against Wolves, he reverts back to shooting from 45 yards and binging it into the top corner. But no, I think Wolves are that bad, and Wolves will be looking at United and trying to play against them again, like they did last time. And Man United are the team that battered them and then made everyone go, we've got to bring in loads of players to face Wolves. And then Wolves shut up shop against Arsenal and Liverpool.
Yeah, I
don't think Wolves respect United.
Yeah, the Martinez back is huge, right? So that's massive. Again, for me, everyone holding up like Aiden Heaven. And listen, he's a young lad. He's at a good standard and he will get better. And I'm sure he will be a top player, right? Not a top player, but a good player. But the other day against Newcastle, he just had easy crosses to get rid of. I would just hold back. Like Heather said on there, would you go with any United players on free hit?
Yeah.
Maybe if you want
three of them. Three of them.
Really?
Dorgu, Dallo, and Cunha.
Oh. Well, there you go. That Kieran get 3. I'd probably
Dallo has 6 attacking returns in his 13 appearances this season. That's mental. Yeah. Dorgu's playing as a right winger, and you're getting him for 4.1 million. It's a no-brainer, even for people that are doing anything right. Dorgu is cheaper than Mukiele, and he's playing right winger for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, but keep in mind, he had his best performance. I've seen Dorgu play a few times, and he's been shocking, mate. Like, that was his best performance.
No, he's not. He's been class. He's been class. I was raving. He was the first Amorim signing. I was saying it the second Amorim brought him in. Dorgu is class. You just need to play him in the right way. And
what are the games he played after
Amorim's not been playing him. But that's because look at who he's had behind him. Luke Shaw. Look at who he's had in front of him. Mason Mount. Like, he's not had the right players around him. So, like, it's always been that. Like, they've not fixed the system. And Amorim's system doesn't work with Bruno Fernandes. No Bruno Fernandes is making the system work. Let's skip ahead, though. We're going to jump straight into your thing because I don't have a discomfort zone because of my voice, Shane. So I'm going to hand it over to you. You do have the next 2 slides as well, so I'll let you click through.
Nice. Right, well, what I'm going to do for Veteran Vision this week is I'm going to talk about a club that Kieran loves to hate or he hates to love. I'm not quite sure which one it is. And it's Brentford. At the start of the season or pre-season, a lot of people are thinking Brentford, they're a shoo-in to go down. They've lost Wissa, they lost their captain, they still had a few injuries. And people are thinking, they just don't have the squad. They don't have the cojones to stay up. Now I looked through the squad and I thought, actually, I think they had enough to stay up. the jury was out on Keith Andrews. Listen, he was a set piece coach, but I think we've got to give him his kudos because he has done exceptionally well, and more home than away. And whenever you stay up in the Premier League, your home form has to be really, really good. And they have done that. They have done that, and we'll just go through it now. So I mean, they beat. Well, they almost drew with City, but I mean, really, if you watch that game, they should have done a lot better. But yeah, I don't think he's been getting enough plaudits. He sets the team up well. They have enough leaders on the pitch, and they've got enough quality on the pitch to probably stay mid-table. I mean, will they sneak first half of the table? I'm not so sure. I think they'll be probably like 11th, 12th, that kind of thing. But the job that he's done there is kind of gone a little bit unnoticed. It really, really has. Everyone's slating him, saying he's a set piece coach. Kieran might have been one of them, saying that they were conceding and getting battered every week. And it's funny how stuff does change. And now, I mean, I've got double Brentford defence. Quite a few have got single or Kelleher, in that defence. Shaddy banging in hat tricks. It's all looking rosy for them so far. It really, really is. And I think he needs a little bit of a chuck up. Now, talking of home form, here's the current home form. You've got Arsenal, City, Villa, and then Brentford. They've scored 20, conceded 10, and they've got 20 points. It's not on the screen here, but we'll just go through the home form. They smashed Bournemouth 4-1, drew with Leeds 1-1, beat Burnley 3-1, beat Newcastle 3-1, beat Liverpool 3-2, just lost out to City 1-0. They beat Man United 3-1, and they drew with Chelsea 2-2, and they beat Villa 1-0. Now, when you put in that, upcoming fixtures, are they good? I'll have a look on the right hand side of the screen. You tell me. Brentford against a lacklustre Tottenham could easily be a 0-0 or a 1-0 Brentford. Everton, Brentford again. Everton and dies away. I don't know. I think Grealish has been on the piss too much, so I think he's getting a few games on the bench. They haven't got much. And then again at home to Sunderland, who still got a half decent team, but probably better defence than their attack. A lot of their players have gone away. So again, within that, I'd be hoping for at least kind of 2 clean sheets. Again, home form, 2 clean sheets, and they have played a lot of the top big boys at home. As we progress after kind of Christmas, then they've got Chelsea, Forest, Villa, and Newcastle. So fairly difficult, but I think they're going a little bit under the radar. In total, I think, listen, Brentford, reassess, rethink, do I really want a defender? Are they cheap enough? Are they good enough to bring in? In my opinion, I think they are. Kieran, as a man who does not like Brentford, tell me your stance on Brentford. Have you loosened a little bit? Have you chilled a bit? Are you coming around? Because I did notice on your predictions this week, you did sneak a little Brentford win in there. I'm just wondering if that's, Shane's Brentford thoughts are coming into the mind a little bit. Oh, I can't hear him. Can't hear him. He's on mute. Do you know what I mean?
No, that was purely because they were playing Bournemouth and Bournemouth were away. Like
home form.
Brentford were decent. They were decent, and Kevin Sade single-handedly bailed them out with a hat trick. Right? Yeah, they were fine, and it is looking as if there's worse teams than them this year. 20 points at home. If they can do that the other half of the season, and they're obviously staying up. And they have taken points against Liverpool and City at home. So you can't even frame it as they haven't played tough teams. The interesting thing is, we know they're poor away from home. So it'll be interesting to see how they do next season. In the second half of the season. But no, they've been better than I expected.
Yeah.
And looking through their upcoming fixtures, see, I fancy them against Sunderland. That would be the only game that I'd be confident in them in personally.
It'll be a tight game. I can't see them scoring conceding 2. They probably concede 1. They do concede quite often, but they managed to get the 3 points. I'd probably play the double defence for these 3 games moving forward, to be honest. Unless
the thing is, Everton away, Everton aren't going to batter them, right? Everton could win 1-0 or it's a 0-0.
I think
Yeah,
Collins in
Sunderland's a
that
good
game,
game.
mate. I've got a little vibe about Collins, mate, up against old Keeney. And he probably is due a return. He's not had a wee assist for a wee while, so it probably gets one of them. But yeah, I think we're a little bit harsh to Keith Andrews. And I just wanted to give the guy a chuck up. It's Christmas, I thought it'd be nice, not grinchy, and say well done to the guy. But yeah, right. What we're going on? Are we on predictions already? We are. We might even keep this to an hour, Kieran. What's going on? Outrageous.
We need to because I'm dying.
Yeah, you are hanging. I did see Liam put in the chat about goalkeepers. We'll answer that. Any questions you've got, chat, just put any questions you have, put in the chat and we'll answer it at the end. We'll do a quick fire. In terms of Shaddy, quick one from you, Kieran. I wouldn't get him. He's got a hat trick. We've seen what happens if you chase points this week. This season they never amount to anything the game week after. For me, I wouldn't get him. Would you get him?
He's still got, like you've just said, there's 3 good fixtures for them. Like he's not the worst move in the world. Like you're not going to get a hat trick, but you probably get 2 attacking returns over the next 3 or 4, probably.
I did see Greyhead brought him in, so kudos to Greyhead, mate, because he banged the hat trick, so well done to him. Right, predictions. Okay. I'll let you start first, mate. Burnley, Newcastle. Play along in the chat with us, guys, girls. Put your predictions in there, and yeah, we'll see what we get. See how we get on this week and last week. Burnley, Newcastle, mate.
Cool. I'm going to do like minimum talking on these because, like, yeah, my throat is killing me suddenly. I think Newcastle batter them though. I
like to hear that.
I think 3-0. Yeah, I'm going to go with 3-0. Maybe it is the case where like Lewis Hall, with all the attacking threat he's showing, gets a return in there. Anthony Gordon's an interesting one, and we'll come on to like my wild card later. But I just think the run of fixtures Newcastle have, if Anthony Gordon starts a game, he's good. And if he comes off the bench against these kind of teams when they're exhausted, he's good. So, even if Gordon started on the bench against Burnley, I'd still fancy him to score a goal in 20 minutes, cameo.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll go with 3-0 Newcastle.
3-0. I'm not going far off it. All the data, unfortunately, all the data tells us that the data and eye test says that Newcastle are pretty poor away. Burnley are actually all right at home. They still lose, but they're not getting battered at home. So actually, people will probably say 1-0, maybe something like that. I mean, in the chat, Heather's got 2-1 Newcastle. Eddie's got 2-0. Colin's got 2-1. So yeah, fairly close. I think it'll be 3 as well. Eddie Hill needs a reaction from his team. I've got Gordon. I think he gets something. He's involved in everything. So, do you know what? It seems like I'm copying you, mate. I'm going to go 3-0 as well, mate. 3-0. Next on to me, Chelsea, Bournemouth. See, I'm wanting Cole Palmer. I'm generally wanting Cole Palmer. I'm addicted to -4s, Kieran. I'm thinking about taking a -4 for Cole Palmer, getting on the Cole Palmer train really, really early. Pretty sure he's got a good record again, so I'll have to check anyway. I don't see Bournemouth stopping the rot, mate. I don't know what's going on. I know they let go of 3 of the defenders pre-season, midway, start of the season. But recently, it's just been probably the worst form in the last 5 away. Chelsea definitely win. I actually see a clean sheet in this. I do. I think Krupi will start again. Evan Nielsen's been a bit of a nightmare. Semenyo, actually, his representatives are in City, so I don't think he'll play at the weekend. And with that, there's less firepower. So I go... Do I go 3-0 again? Do you know what I do? I do. I'll go 3-0. Go 3-0 Chelsea, mate. I think Cole Palmer. I might get him in. What are you thinking?
Cole Palmer's a lot of money. I think Cole Palmer is one of those players. I've considered him on wildcard, but I'd rather see him get returns before I bring him in.
Yeah.
Because
I get it.
We know that the good entry point is like 22, 23. I just think, do I see him scoring enough goals over the fixtures before that to justify 10.4 mil? And the answer is no. But I do agree this should be relatively straightforward. I just think Bournemouth have this way of scoring and ruining clean sheets no matter what. So I'll go with the 3-1 to Chelsea.
3-1. Okay, back to you. In the chat, we've got Jackie's 1-0 Chelsea, Heather 2-1, Andrew 2-1, Geddy 3-1. Yeah, I've gone for Chelsea win. I feel fairly.
So interestingly, this game could be the battle of my goalkeepers on wildcard in Victor John and Jordan Pickford. And I'll be starting Pickford because I just think both these teams are super defensive. It'll be a super defensive game. It could be a 0-0, but I kind of fancy a 1-0 Everton with. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can't tell you who's going to score in it. Could it be a Keane?
Yep.
Probably not. But I just think like a 1-0 Everton some way, somehow.
1-0 Everton, okay. I do like Liam's put on there. Who would you say is the best goalkeeper to get the now? I actually probably think Pickford. We're coming into that time of the season where Everton start eking out those 1-0s or 0-0s, and Pickford will get like 11 or 12 pointer. I actually think Forrest to score. He looks really, really good against City the other day at home. Yeah, they are very, very attacking. I'm going to go with a 1-1. I'm not going to go a Desi. Not quite yet. I'm going to go a little 1-1, mate. Close, but no cigar. That's why I'm not too bothered about an Everton defence this week. But hey, they could easily get a huge score. Right, next one on me, West Ham Brighton. Oh, West Ham are in trouble, mate. I've seen rumblings that they're going to get rid of Nuno, which I think would be pretty stupid. They just ain't got the squad. We've been saying this for a while, Kieran. The squad just isn't there. It's a championship squad. It is. You look through it and you're like, that's a bang average championship squad. Brighton aren't as good away as they are at home, but I think they score quite a few in this fixture. Could this be the 2-1? Does Bowen score? Maybe. I've got Van Heck, so maybe I'm a little bit biased. But yeah, if I reckon Bowen could probably get something. I'm going to go 3-2 Brighton. 3-2 Brighton.
Wow.
Big,
Wow.
mate, big.
Yeah, you're seeing that game very different to me. These two teams, and I think it's because I've happened to catch a couple of each of their games recently on TV, and the stat always pops up. But like, these two teams are amongst the top ones for scoring late goals in games. After the 75th minute is when they tend to score. So I could see this being a 0-0 that finishes as a 1-1 type of thing. I think it's going to be super tight. I don't think either of them have great attacks. I don't think either of them have great defenses. I think it'll be a cagey first half, and then I think they'll both go for it. And I think it'll be a case of like Matoma scoring for Brighton in like the 72nd minute, and then Bowen scoring in the 87th or something along those lines. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 in that one.
Oh, a little half Desi. While we're streaming, Kieran, I just want to say there's just over 400 people watching. So thanks for joining in the Christmas period. Do like, subscribe, all that good stuff, because it does help us out. And we're not far off 1,000 subs, Kieran. We're getting there. Yeah, in terms of players for that one, Kieran, I like Van Heck. I think Van Heck could do a little bit damage in the heading department. Bowen, yeah, could definitely score. Brighton are just, they just go for it. Like you're saying, they're a very, very enjoyable team to watch. But yeah, they do leave themselves open a little bit. Minter, we were talking earlier about Minter, Mitoma, and yeah, I'm considering about getting one of them in. And really attacking those, those teams near the bottom, especially West Ham's, Burnley, and Wolves more away than home. Right. Back on Arsenal Villa. Oh, here we go. Arsenal Villa. Usually you get the Arsenal one, but I'm gonna go first on this.
What, you're changing the order?
Oh no, it's back to you, innit? In fact, we always manage to work it out, so it goes back to you and Arsenal, and we don't plan it out; it just naturally comes. So yeah, actually, sorry, it's back to you, Arsenal Villa. Gives me time to think. I like it. I'll chuck a few scores up from the guys and girls in the chat.
Couple of things I'm going to say about this game for everyone else's benefit. This game takes place on Tuesday, the 30th of December, 2025. On the 30th of December, 1995, Oliver Watkins was born.
Ooh.
So it's his 30th birthday when he's playing Arsenal.
Narrative FC.
Ollie Watkins has scored 6 goals in his 12 games against Arsenal. And last season, when Aston Villa went to the Emirates, they went so without camera and without cash, like they will be for this one. And they won 2-0 with Ollie Watkins scoring. So, with all that said and done, I can only go for a 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Oh. And do you know what? Though I respect that decision, Kieran, I'd already made my mind up, and I'm going 1-0 also. I think, listen, it'll be a tough game. There's a few people put in the chat. Liam's going a 3-0 battering for Arsenal. I like that, as in Baron Villa. Sandra's going 2-0. Colm's going a little Desmond. Yeah, there's Liam's 3-0. Heather's gone Desmond. Eddie's gone Desmond. Eddie's going a 2-1 Villa. Oh, you don't want to anger him. Eddie, you don't want to anger him. But yeah, listen, I agree with him, mate. I agree with you, pal. I'm going to go 1-0 Arsenal, and I'm deliberating whether to get Gabriel in because it could be the difference. He could get the goal. It could be the difference. But yeah, 1-0 Arsenal. 1-0 to the Arsenal. March on towards the title. Whisper it, Kieran. Right, who's next? It'll be good. It'll be a great game to watch. It'll be a great game, and that's what I love about. There's so many games at the same time at night in the midweek fixture, which is good. United Wolves now. Hey, here we go. Listen, it's not always about data. Everyone's always, a lot of people on about the data train, and yes, use it to your advantage. But my eyes do not deceive me. And United the other day were absolutely garbage. They were absolutely atrocious. And it took Dorgu in his best game for the club to score the winner against Newcastle, who were just as poor, but absolutely dominated them throughout. This one's a bit different because Wolves are a shocking team. They're one of the worst teams that have been in the Prem. They've got 2 points. They might not beat the record of Derby of what I think is 11. But this will be a tough game. It will be a tough game. And I do see Wolves scoring. I do see United scoring. I just have to think, is it going to be a 1-1 or is it going to be a Desi? I'm going to go Desi. This is the Desmond, mate. I'm here. Little Desmond, mate. United to put at the back, mate. 2-2, mate. How'd you like those apples?
I don't even know what to say about it, Shane. I don't even know what to say.
Well, is this going to be a 4-0 Cunha hat-trick?
How many games have Wolves played away from home?
How many have they played?
You should know this. Yeah.
Oh, they're not 8.
No, we're in game week 19. You can figure this out, Shane. Come on.
Oh, wait.
We played 18 games.
9. Yes. Scottish maths.
Yeah. How many goals do you reckon they've scored away from home?
2.
3. The weird thing is, the goals they scored away from home, but the goals they scored away from home were against Tottenham, Liverpool, and Arsenal, which is kind of an interesting one.
And that's recently, right, Kieran? That's what, in the last 5. They have been improving. They're still shit, by the way. I'm not saying they're amazing, but United aren't good either.
Yeah, look, it's one of those, right? Even against Villa, they only lost 1-0, right? Like, they only lost 1-0 to Villa. Newcastle, Man U. I don't know. I think Wolves, like I said to you, I think Wolves don't respect Man United in the same way they respect Villa, Arsenal, and Liverpool. So I don't think they're going to set up as defensively, right? And yes, they got hammered when they tried that against Man U. And I heard Mark Goldbridge say that Wolves were open like a 24-hour Tesco when they faced Man United.
It's got some good ones.
Which, I like that one from him. But he was actually defending Arsenal when people going, how did Arsenal only win 2-1? He's like, because they put everyone behind the ball. They didn't do that against us. Like, if they did that against Arsenal, if they played like they did against us, against Arsenal, it would be over in 10 minutes. So I think they are wiser. But I also think they're going to be looking at how depleted Man United are and thinking there's gaps there that we can attack and we can win that midfield battle. So I think they'll go quite physical in the middle, like a 5-4-1 or a 4-5-1 even formation to kind of just overpower that. But I think that will just create maybe some better chances for Dorgu, for Dallo, etc. I'm going to go with a 3-0 to Man U, mate.
Wow. Can I just ask you, right? And we were kind of chatting this earlier. No Fernandes. We know what Fernandes does for United. No Ahmad. No Mbuemo. Who's going to assist Cunha?
There's plenty of people, mate. There's plenty of people. Dorgu is. Sesko is one of the... Sesko, now that Xerxes is going to be leaving, is going to be more involved than ever, right? And more physical and holding that down. Lisandro Martinez will be playing as a centre mid, right? I'm not saying he's good, but what I'm saying is Wolves are the perfect team to be playing when you don't have anyone that's creative. Because Wolves aren't a team you look at Arsenal, you look at Liverpool, you look at Villa when they were playing them. They have more creative players, but it was harder to break them down because of how deep they were sitting. That in a weird way, Alessandro Martinez, Acuna shooting from 40 yards out and scoring that first goal, Wolves will open up like the Tesco again.
I do
just think it's more of that kind of game.
Yeah, quite often it is, isn't it? It's like narrative FC. Cunha, he wants to do well against Wolves, and he had some good chances the other day. He's the biggest threat. If you've got him, yeah, I'm a bit worried about not having him. A little bit, a little bit. I mean, he could easily get a brace, but yeah, for me,
Yeah,
I
he was a
think
bad
who's
pick
going to.
last week. Like he was a horrendous pick against Newcastle for all those things we were saying, right?
You
Because
did say that, yeah. Too
Newcastle were
early.
too good to like Newcastle were good enough to prevent a lack of creation, right? But Wolves aren't, and I think that's the key thing.
Yeah, I think for me,
Plus, I
I
fancy a
mean,
penalty in this game. Like, I just fancy a penalty for United. Like Cunha with the penalty against his old club just feels written.
yeah, no, I get that. For me, I can't fathom who's going to assist Cunha. Sesko, no. Casemiro, no. Dorgu,
They
no.
don't have to though.
Yeah, Wolves
Like
are
he,
bad, but they've been improving. They have been improving, and they will pick up points. It might not be this weekend. It might not be this weekend, and it won't be many points. But I always say to you, United are always one game away from self destruction, and I think this is where the button might get pressed again. Right, back to oh no, sure,
it's
back on
me
you.
for Crystal
The
Palace
next
Fulham.
day, Palace Fulham, Little London Derby. Hello.
So, no, I can't even tell this on here. Well, maybe I can. I saw a comedy sketch, right? Because do you know who Crystal Palace's football rivalry is?
Go on.
It's Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
Brighton's 80 miles south of Crystal Palace,
And past like
right?
6 teams.
And the background to this was that in like I think 1972, their managers had a massive argument, and one was really disrespectful to the others. And the whole story is the fans have then gone, right, they're our
Ooh.
rivalries, we hate them, right? I heard a comedian phrasing it in what I think is a much more realistic way. 1970, Crystal Palace, closest football club to them, a team called Millwall in the 1970s. Now, yeah, exactly. No, thank you. We don't want to have a rivalry with that team. Thank you very much. I don't fancy that scrap.
Yeah,
However,
well,
and
yeah.
again, Shane, think about this 1970s, 1980s, when the UK wasn't as liberal and open as it is now.
Yeah.
If you were fond of someone of the same sex, whereabouts did you tend to live? Brighton.
Brighton, I'm guessing. Yeah, yeah.
So that's clearly Crystal Palace going, they could be our rivals. I fancy popping down there to
Yeah, definitely. We always wanted them to be the rivals. Yeah, nah, don't worry about well. Nah, I don't worry about them. Yeah,
exactly.
what do you think the score will
But
be, mate? Jojo's gone 1-0 Palace.
I think this is
Ever's gone 2-1 Fulham.
Palace have been on a horrendous run of form, particularly at home, right? They
They
haven't won
have.
any of the last 4 games at home. They've
Tom's in
had
the
a lot
chat,
of
so you got to be
fixtures
nice
come
to him.
in. No, but like Fulham have been good. Fulham have won their last 3 games in a row.
They picked up form at the right time because, yeah, I thought
the ones that they lost was against Crystal Palace and against Man City. Now, Man City you could take, and they like came back to make that like a 5-4 game. They're not going to be happy about losing at home to Crystal Palace. I don't think they're going to win though. So, Colm, this is my designated Desmond, just for you.
Oh, Desi time. What's Com going for? Com, let us know. Prod just put Prod in the chat. Good to see you, mate. It was on a space with him earlier. If you don't follow him, make sure you go and follow Prod. Some fantastic spaces. Sandro's gone 1-0 Fulham. Prod just gone 2-0 Fulham. Everyone's just trying to be nice to Com, I think. Palace have hit a bit of a horrendous form. And namely, actually, at home. You know, lost last week, 1-0 at home. Yeah, they're down to bare bones. Devaney, actually, you know, if someone's got a wild card or, I don't know, maybe a free hit and you need someone cheap, Devaney actually looks pretty involved, actually. I mean, you don't want to put him, probably more of a bench boost for Devaney, but yeah, I think it's in a loss. They get too tired. Fulham have done well. I had Jimenez to score at the weekend. Do you know what? I'm gonna go 2-1 Fulham. There you go, Com. There's my present to you, mate. 2-1 Fulham.
Colm's corrected or gave the right reference to when the rivalry started. It was when Mullery and Venerables were the managers. So Mullery at Brighton, Venables at Palace. And they had lots of clashes for it. One point, Mullery threw money at Palace fans during that. And that was 76, 77.
Ashley Cole style. Do you know what I mean? Bam, on the pitch.
Yeah,
I like it, mate. I like it. Fire it up. Can I just say, before we were almost finished, actually, is I went to a great game on Friday. What day is it? I went to a great game on Saturday. Fife derby, the Kingdom of Fife, by the way, and we won. Dunfermline beat Wraith Rovers away for the first time. Wait for this, Kieran. In 9 years. So, yeah, that was fantastic away.
Has it
away
always
day,
been called the
2-1.
Kingdom of Fife?
Do you know what? I'm going to have to. Well, not all. I mean, someone must have made the Kingdom, but.
No, but what I mean is, like, it didn't change to being the Queendom, right? But now it actually fits again.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it never changed. But yeah, I'm lucky enough to that. But yeah, it was fantastic away game. Neil Lennon back in the stands. Come on, Paris. Anyway, we're moving on. Liverpool Leeds. It's on me, right? Yeah, it's on me. This is a toughie. Chat, help me, because I'm actually kind of just biding a bit of time. No, I'm not. I think that team.
Liverpool fans won't like you calling them toffees.
Oh, snap! Well, talking to toffees, I've had a lot of chocolate over the festive period. Kieran, there's a box of heroes over here that looks very, well, it's just wrappers in there, let's be honest, but the crap ones that no one has anymore. I don't see this a pattern again. Now listen, they scraped a 2-1 against Wolves. Okay, maybe scraped's a bit difficult. They did run the game well, and yes, they did concede. Leeds are a different beast just now. They're a different beast. Liverpool were terrible at the back. The lineup the other day I just didn't like at all. I think they're going to struggle. I'm wanting to do another Desi. I really want to do another Desi. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. That's what I think. I'm going it. Desmond, mate. Desi. I think it's Liverpool struggle again, man. I think they do.
Do you remember what the do you remember what the score was in the last time they played?
5-1, 5-9?
No, 3-3.
What was it, 3-0? Oh,
yeah. Remind me, Shane. What did you say for Palace Fulham?
2-1 Fulham.
Cool. Yeah, so 3-0 in that one. I agree with you. I think
Roger's gone 2-2 as well. Come on, Roger.
So there's things that I agree with you on, and there's things that I don't on this game, right? Leeds are very good. Leeds are better than people give them respect for. Leeds are capable of scoring lots of goals. But Leeds are also a lot better at home than they are away from home. Yeah. And to me, the most important part in this is the biggest game of Leeds' season follows this game. Leeds host Man United at home as the game after this in game week 20. That is the game that means everything to them. And that just makes me wonder whether they might have one eye on that when facing Liverpool. And when they go behind, might not come back with quite as much. And they will go behind, right? That's kind of what we can accept. But maybe they don't come back with quite the same amount of oomph and desire and pushing to death because they want to go into the United one. So again, I don't think it'll be like a deliberate thing, but I think Liverpool will have the edge on this one. And I'm going to go with a Liverpool 3-1 for this game.
Liverpool 3-1.
Right, next up, we've got Brentford v Tottenham, the Frank Derby again.
Oh, of course it is. Holy Santa Claus shit. Back in.
Yeah, so Spurs won the last one 2-0.
They did. Frank.
I think they win again.
Ooh.
But I think... Actually, do I think they win again? Brentford are at home, aren't they? They've only lost to City at home this season.
Correct, and they shouldn't have lost it.
But Spurs have only lost to Arsenal and Forest away this season. So it is one of those of like, which way do you want to paint it? Maybe I'm going to paint it as my second Desmond. Yeah, it could be my second Desmond. There we go.
Oh, second Desi. Oh, there's Desi's galore, mate. And at Christmas, there is a lot of goals to be fair, because everyone's on the piss like Jack Grealish. I think it'd be a bit tighter than that. I think maybe the max would be like 1-1. Thomas Frank's going to want to continue that away form and at least pick up points, even another point. He's under pressure a little bit, but you've got to give him time. He's had a lot of injuries. I'm surprised that some people are at him already. I think he's done a right job. Do I think it'll be 1-1? I mean, Brentford do concede quite often, and Richarlison, he's in that bit of a period where he is scoring a few. He got 2 disallowed the other day. How he didn't score, I don't know. He just didn't hold his run enough. I actually think, though, Brentford will be up for this. And I'm going to go 1-0 Brentford. maybe a little bit jaded because we've got double Brentford defence, but I just think it'll be a massive performance for him and his team to prove a point. And Brentford players will want to prove a point as well. You know what I mean? They've lost a lot. I'm going to go 1-0 Brentford, mate. 1-0 Brentford. And then last one's on me, Sunderland City. Sunderland at home were good, right? And they are still half decent, but with quite a few people away. Dan Ballard out. I don't know how long he's out. Did you see how long he's out for? Or did it come in there? That's a big loss. That's a really, really big loss. City, they'll motor through. They'll get another 3 points here. I mean, they still find it tough to break teams down. The other day, they did find it tough to break Forest down. And yeah, they won 2-1, but they didn't have that many chances. They really didn't. I think they'll find it tough for a wee while, and then I think they will unlock it. It's probably a reason why I want to keep Foden. I think he's going to go, maybe. I'm going to go for a 2-0 City, mate. Just a standard 2-0 City. Nothing exciting, really. Bit of a boring one. I much needed O'Reilly clean sheet, though. That would be good.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because it is like 9 games Sunderland haven't lost at home. But to your point, they didn't look great against Leeds. Like, Leeds could have battered them. And they... This is a game very soon after that game. Yeah,
Jack
I think City are just on form at the moment. I'm going to go with a 3-1 to... I'm going to go 3-1 because I want Sunderland to score, not because I think they will.
Yeah, and that's it. Hey, that's it. Thank you for playing along with us. We'll keep a wee tab, see how we get on. Kieran's got a lot of making up to do. You know, he's got to get some predictions in there, but I'd rather trade my team, actually, for the position he's in than predictions. But we move, and it's still close. It's still fairly close, mate, you know. Any prediction, you know, if you get a few in a week, we're back up there. It'll be a good week anyway, Kieran, won't it? It'll be a fantastic week. And talking about the week, let's talk about the setup of teams. Who we got first? I got mine, right. I'm in a little bit of that funk just now, Kieran, where I'm like, I need to reassess. Tomorrow, I'm going to spend a good few hours just reassessing my teams, what I'm thinking of teams, a little bit of my eye test in there, and apply it moving forward. Now, I've got a 5 at the back here. I don't think it's going to be a 5 at the back because I'm probably going to make a change. It could be Foden for either maybe Matoma. We were speaking earlier. I do like a Brighton attacker, but I don't know. I might just hold, I might roll, and then I've got another free transfer. And just see how Foden gets on, mate. Because against Sunderland, Cherky's playing really, really well. But Foden, he had a few chances. And if it wasn't for great saves by Victor, he would have got, one at least. So I think I'm just going to leave him in. The deliberation for me, mate, as I go through my team, Kelleher and Collins, backline Brentford, they're staying. Chalobah, he's definitely staying. O'Reilly, he's staying. Van Heck. So I'm at least going to play a back 4. Now, the one who could come out is Lacroix, because I think Fulham do score. But then again, Palace could sneak a 0-0 or 1-0. So I'm not sure. I do want a midfielder in there. Rodgers-wise, listen, Arsenal are just too good, man. Even if Gabriel doesn't play, they're just too good. I know he's involved a lot for Villa. It's Arsenal. It's Arsenal away. So I think I might make a change. Will I take Rodgers out? I don't think I'll keep him for now. But, Saka, he looked very, very good the other day. I'm sure you watched the game. He was unfortunate to get more points. Gordon, I'm loving the Gordon pick now, mate. He's got to do something this week. He's got to do something. He's already trolled me once this season, mate. He's got to do something. Do you know what I can see in that? Do you know what I can see in that game, Kieran? Pen. Definite pen. Newcastle. Then Foden, Haaland up top, and Ekitike. And that's where I am. In terms of captaincy, I'll probably just keep it on Haaland. I might go a little bit different. But yeah, I'll probably just keep it on Haaland, mate. What's your thoughts? Good, bad, indifferent, captaincy? What are you thinking? I think I might just roll just to, reassess everything. I did want to maybe get Palmer in, but take a -4 and I don't want to.
But then you've got a benching headache, right? If you brought Palmer in. You already have a benching headache to an extent. Like, some people would rather play Rodgers over maybe one of your defenders, maybe Collins, rather than going double Brentford defence. But yeah, I don't think you need Gordon at this stage.
No. I think captaincy wise, I mean, we're coming to your team, but in my team, I think it's Haaland. I think, listen, Sunderland, they are depleted and they've done well so far, but yeah, I think he gets a few here, to be honest. But apart from that, I think it's all right. I don't like playing 5 at the back. I never do. I'd rather play 3-5-2. But it's one of those game weeks where listen, you've got to play the players you've got. I've got four home fixtures at the back. I've still got to play them, I think, mate. But I think in terms of the team, mate, it looks good. Like I'm saying, recondition, chill out, get 2 free transfers, and then attack moving forward, mate. With the new chips.
Sounds good.
There's a few in the chat said Jojo said I'd swap Gordon to Cunha even on a -4. Jojo, no, Gordon's scoring a hat trick this weekend, mate. He is scoring a hat trick. Com says I'd only get Palmer if I was on a free hit this game week. Yeah, that's a free one. And KSC says evening guys, I've got issues. Richards, Steve, drop your questions in and we'll get them just after this. So pop them in now and we'll star them and we'll get them at the end. Quick fire. And Kieran, we've almost kept it to an hour. We're almost there. Anyway, talk to your teammate and I'll star these.
Yeah, so obviously wild card time. So looking at 12 changes as it stands at the moment.
Ooh.
I think goalkeeper-wise, Pickford's expensive. He is expensive. But I just look at the fixtures coming up for him. And we've got Forest, Brentford, Wolves, Villa, Leeds, Brighton, Fulham, Bournemouth, Man U, Newcastle, Burnley, Arsenal. Like he seems good for like 28, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, just to set and forget. I'd been doing it with Petrovic and been doing fine with that. And I think it's just time to switch. And similar to when I did it with Petrovic, I had Senesi. This time I'm doubling up with Keane, I'm not too worried about Branthwaite taking his minutes anytime soon. Like, I'll cross that bridge when it comes to it, but it's not a concern. Doubling up with John Victor, who I don't think necessarily will keep it long term. But again, 4.0 bench fodder. If he does keep it in a Deitch team, a lot better than Dubravka is. And interestingly, when I've got tougher fixtures in 30 and 33, he's got Fulham and Burnley. So if I was still holding on to them then, we're talking like 14 weeks away, right? But just makes sense. Gabriel's into my team because I'm on wildcard. You just got to bring him in. Lewis Hall, Dorgu, and it won't be Mukiele. Mukiele is, at the moment, I've got Van de Ven in there. Obviously, I've not saved a lot of these yet because I'm trying to like price rise and steal a bit of value. Yeah. But I've got Van de Ven in more so for later on, right? So again, I want to play him against Sunderland. I want to play him against West Ham. I want to play him against Burnley. So those 3 fixtures in particular out of the next 5. So he wouldn't be played this week. It would be Pickford, Hall, Gabriel, Dorgu, Keane first on the bench to probably come in because I'll be playing the midfield 5. The ones that are locked in, Shirky, Cunha, and Wirtz are all locked into my team. Gordon, I'm like 90% set on. It could be Bruno G, but I just think there's more upside with Gordon. Yeah. Rice could also be Bruno G or Soboslai or pretty much Rodgers or anyone. But again, it just feels good to have the best value player in the game. 102 points for 7 million is just a joke comparatively. And, we can just see these points. 5-11, 1 blank there. 6, 1 blank there. 4-6, 1 blank there. 13-7. Like, he's just good. He's just very, very good. Every game, didn't he? Yeah. And particularly for these fixture runs, right? He's probably the perfect game for these kind of fixtures. Villa, Bournemouth, Liverpool.
We're actually agreeing a little bit. I agree. The Liverpool game, it wouldn't surprise if it was like 1-0 Declan Rice goal or something. Yeah, I totally agree.
And then just finishing it up with Haaland, Ekatike, and Fraser, dead spot, using Wolves instead of Obi because there is a world where I might want the 3rd Man United spot, so I don't want to lock it up, is basically the thing. So I'd rather use that 0.1 million. As you can see, there's 2.6 million in the bank with this team, right? And what it means is come game week 22, Gordon would make way.
Yeah.
Ekatike would make way. And quite easily, and again, just showing this to see, like, here's why there's money in the bank, here's why I'm willing to afford it. But I can straight away throw in Cole Palmer and João Pedro from game week 23 when well, I can click onto one of their profiles, right, and just do it that way. But again, from game week 23 in particular, we've got Palace, 24, let's say, West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, Burnley. So do I have enough money for that? Yep, I'd still have 1.1 million, right, at that case. And at that point as well is also where a cheeky little Lewis Hall out, and if he's fit, welcome to the team, Reece James. So no real Platons moot done until like game week 24, and then game week 24, switch it over to the free Chelsea.
I like it, mate.
There we go.
I like it. I think for me, we've discussed quite a lot at length, mate, and we seem to have got players, you more self than me, but still both of us at the right time. And we've been jumping off when people are jumping on. You know what I mean? And we continue to do that this season, which is really, really good. I like the Cherky pick. I think price-wise, he's a little bit like Declan Rice, Saka. Do you know what I mean? Like, for the price.
Price of steal, 6.6 is a joke for the guy that's creating this many chances.
I looked earlier and I was like, Jesus, didn't he? He was 6.6. I think, at the start of the season we looked, but he wasn't really getting many minutes. But yeah, and I think someone said on the question, would you have him over Foden? Yeah, I absolutely would, because I mean, look at the weekend.
I wouldn't switch him though. If I had Foden, I wouldn't make a sideways move. I think that's the key.
Yeah. I don't think it's worth a -4, and I don't think you're that confident of that -4 of it paying off. Because 1 week, I mean, look at Reinders. He's still playing really, really high. Second half of the game.
Of course he would. It was Christmas. He was always going to score over Christmas.
Yeah. And me and Reinders have had a bit of a bad relationship this season, where I've put him on the bench. He scored. I've got him in. He's got me nothing. So I like it, mate. For me, defence is, I think, it's bang on. Pickford is a bit expensive, but we're coming into that period now where, David Moyes just ekes out 0-0s or 1-0s. That's what he does. Gordon, I think, you've got to have him in this fixture. Burnley are decent. Well, I say decent, a bit of a caveat, but, they're not as bad as home. Cunha's, I'm worried about Cunha this weekend. He could do something. The Dorgu, again, you put him in. He's Wolves. Yeah.
Hey, I might captain Dorgu. Like, I know Alex Volo's done it.
Yeah, it's not a bad show.
Like, you think Wolves score, so obviously for you think it's a 2-2, right? So for you, it would be a horrendous captaincy choice. But if I'm thinking it's 3-0, I won't do it because that's not a risk I need to take, right? Wirtz made a lot of sense, but however, it's an interesting one, right? Where Cunha makes a lot of sense this week.
Yeah.
But this also feels like one where, like, would you be stupid for not captaining Erling Haaland against a promoted team?
There are,
without
Ballard's out. Yeah.
And without their AFCON people.
I probably would refrain from it because for me, I think Wolves do score. Okay, they might not draw. I've got to draw down. I get that. But I genuinely think Wolves score. And it's not because I don't hate United. They just didn't play well the other day. They really, really didn't. The Cunha,
Projars, by the way, if we saw the debate, the debate on Szoboszlai is always an interesting.
Was it? Sorry.
Well, so like Trig and D-Unit hate Szoboszlai and Kanji likes him. And the reality is Szoboszlai is a Solio review, like, lovely player, right? Whatever.
Okay.
Because DEFCON, set pieces. But the mad thing is, they will die on a hill over him, but for 0.6 million more, you get Declan Rice, who is on set pieces, who gets DEFCON. Like, it's not even close who's a better asset between Declan Rice and Szoboszlai, is it, in reality? So I think Szoboszlai is a decent pick, but he's not this level of best pick in the game that I know Kanji thinks at times. I think he's a very solid pick. When I had him in my draft, you can see I've got him in this draft here that I'd screenshotted, right? So the one that we've got on the page here, I've got him in there, and I don't like it because his ceiling feels hopeful rather than a reality. I get how he can hit his ceiling, but I don't think he will achieve it. So I know he's got a high ceiling if he hit all of those things, but I don't see a game where he gets an attack in return and DEFCON and bonus points.
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, would you not rather go Neto? I'd probably rather go Neto with Szoboszlai. But I didn't really like the Szoboszlai pick at the start, to be honest.
The other one as well, and I agree with what Joe's saying here as well about Gordon. I agree. Bruno G is a way more logical pick, but this is purely a 3-game week fixture punt from my perspective, where Newcastle have 3 amazing fixtures. Anthony Gordon is the best footballer in that Newcastle team. And when he is on the pitch, he will take a penalty. I agree he won't start all 3 of these games. But similarly, a game against a Burnley, for example, as I said, Burnley are a team that concede a lot of goals late on in games. So Burnley being tired and having someone with Anthony Gordon on who will be pissed off at not starting the game, in my opinion, is a very good thing. He then plays a tired Crystal Palace at home, a Leeds team at home, and Wolves away. So for 4 fixtures, I'd expect 2 returns from there. I'm not expecting the world from him, but I think I'm getting 20 points off of him over those. And I'll take 5 points a game split across that. I just don't know when his haul comes, but I reckon he'd get a haul in one of those games.
Yeah, I love the team. I do love the team, and even an Arsenal fan, you got Van de Ven, fairly easy. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not bringing them in because rival club and stuff like that. But and he's that cheap as well. Hull.
The other thing I'll add on, sorry, just one quick thing on Jojo's point. When's the last time? And I'm a big Arsenal fan, but when's the last time Saka scored an open play goal?
January.
It's been a long time, isn't it? Very long time since Saka scored an open play goal. And people will happily keep him in their team at 10.2 million.
He's
with bad fixtures.
He did play well.
So I think they're the things. This is similar to Wirtz for me, right? Wirtz had not scored a goal. He was a no-brainer for me last week because he had a great fixture. And even if that one didn't work out, he had 4 great fixtures over the next 5 afterwards. And it's the same situation with Gordon. If Gordon doesn't work out this week, like he didn't work out for you last week, it's not the end of the world because who cares? Yeah, well, it's not even you can pivot. I've bought him in for 4 amazing fixtures. I imagine he will work across at least 2 of those. It's just have patience with your players.
Yeah, he has to. I think for me, it'd be good to know in the chat. Chat, let us know. I'm if I do make a midfield change, it's going to be either Foden or Saka, and I'm finding it hard to decide. I really am because Saka, I think he is going to get something soon. He is, and he played really well again this weekend. But like you say, he's got tough fixtures. What's his ceiling going to be over the next 4? And that's what we look for. You know what I mean? That's what gets the rank rise and everything like that. Right, okay, let's cover. We've got loads of questions. By the way, again, there's still over 480 people watching. So again, please like, subscribe, share, all that kind of good stuff. Because we love interacting with you. That's what we're here for, Kieran. That's what we're here for. And at the moment, we have 21 questions to cover. We're going to quickfire them. We're going to question them. If you go to that next slide, if you can. Yep, if you can see here, we're almost approaching 1,000 viewers. I think we've got 777 now, I think, roughly. So if you can help us get that push to 1,000, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And like I'm saying, thanks for joining us over Christmas. We'll be here. We'll be here throughout, mate. We'll be here throughout. Without further ado, let's get into the questions, mate. And we'll just quick fire them. I'll give you one, you give me one, and we'll go from there. Right. Eddie, I've got 1 free transfer, 0.3 in the bank. Should I get in Dallo? If so, who to bench? Gabriel, O'Reilly, or Tarkowski? Kieran, go. I'd bench O'Reilly. That's just me. He's gone off mute. He's gone off mute. For our first question in, he's muted again.
I don't think you need to bring him in looking at that defence, right? It's in you're not going to bench Gabriel. Well, I need to know the rest of the team here, but Dallo's good, but Shane thinks it's a 2-2 draw. So you wouldn't recommend starting him over any of these 3 in reality. Because
if he's set to bring him in, he wants to, definitely. That's what I would. But yeah, I would agree with you that I wouldn't
probably play 4 at the back at that point, right?
You could do. Yeah. Let us know, Eddie, what your team is.
It's hard to say, Eddie, but I like Dallo a lot this week. But I'd understand it more. It's similar. I've heard people that have Virgil van Dijk, and if you've got Virgil van Dijk, you have to play him this week. But you also have to realise that you're probably not going to get any returns from him. So you're better off to sell Virgil van Dijk so you don't have to play him. I think it's a similar situation with Nico O'Reilly. Yeah, I got rid of Nico O'Reilly because otherwise I'd have to play him. It's madness to get rid of O'Reilly when he's playing this fixture against Sunderland. But I didn't want to play him, so I had to get rid of him.
To the 580 people that are watching, Kieran, get rid of Van Dijk. Now, right, anyway, next one. Would you go Dorgu or Dallo on free hit? Ooh, what would you do, Kieran? What would you do? I'd probably go Dorgu, to be fair.
I'd probably go both.
Just bring in both. You do both.
On a free,
Heather says,
I still
go on.
stick to the fact that, like, on a free hit, every time, including myself, every free hit I've seen with three strikers had one striker return. So I think on a free hit is where you just go 5-4-1 and you attack it and you go double United defense.
Oh, well, I've got 5 at the back. I don't have double United, but yeah, I do have that. Well, would I go any United players on free hit? I would go Cunha and just Cunha alone. I won't go into defenders. Vibe Empire, Liam's in the chat. How you doing, Liam? Who would you say the best goalkeeper to get is? Kieran, who would you do? I'd probably say Pickford.
Yeah, look, Pickford at that price point, if not, like, Chelsea scam clean sheets and Sanchez can get assists, right? So, like, for 4.9 million, he's a decent price. It's just, would you want 3 Chelsea outfielders for their fixture run from 23? Possibly. The rotation of De Bruyne seems to be paying off for people, of Dubravka and Verbruggen, because their fixtures interchange. I've never liked that one. Like, it's interesting because we used to just always do first choice goalkeeper and their 4.0 backup, so that you'd always have a playing keeper. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. Roofs is still pretty much a top point scorer in one, right? So do you think Sunderland are still going to continue it? Because again, him at his price point is pretty good. I would just say, like, steer clear of Kelleher. Don't go down the Dubravka and John route either. Like, don't go 2 4.0s and cheap out, because that would be a disaster written all over it. So I'd say money, no object. Honestly, money, no object. It might be Alisson in a weird way.
Stop. I'd rather go Raya.
Or it might be Pope if you can wait another week. But if you're on wildcard, you've got to bring someone in. But Pope should be back.
I'd rather go Raya. If you've got the money, I would
but Raya, you need to get your 2 Arsenal defenders instead of having Raya. Like, Raya's, it's just an obvious thing here, right? You're having Gabriel in your Arsenal team. Like, he's just a lock. And then you'd rather have Timber than Raya, or Calafiori than Raya.
Timber. KSC says, evening, guys. Got issues. He's got issues, mate. He's got Richards, Steve, and Dewsbury Hall. 1 free transfer, 0.1 in the bank. Would we agree he's got issues? Football.
Yeah, I'd say Richards won't play. Dewsbury Hall, I think, has a chance of playing.
I think he's got an outside chance. Steve, I think Steve's got an outside chance as well. Again, I've done something. That's what I do every week now. I don't really look too much value this season.
Yeah, look, Esteve, you can't do anything with it. It's price point anyway, right? And I think that's probably the biggest challenge. With all of those injuries, like, Richards, you'd probably want back at some point, but I'd also say Palace's fixtures, you're not having him for the Fulham game, so you then have Newcastle away, Villa at home, Sunderland away, Chelsea at home, Forest away, Brighton away. Like, until 26 when they play Burnley at home, you might not want Richards back. And at 4.6 million, I think that could be a chance. Shane won't like it, but I think that could be a chance to drop it down to a Dorga at 4.1, because you then got $500,000 for other transfers later on.
Yeah, no, I like it. Right, next one. Heather says Rodgers on the bench. Yeah, I'm not feeling him this week. Arsenal, you know what I mean? Beast. So I'm not going to go against him. Matt says, would you do Timber to Gabriel or Semenyo to Gordon? 1 free transfer, exact money to Gab tonight. I'd probably go Semenyo to Gordon.
I just need to go grab something, Shane, so I'm going to leave you talking for a second, okay?
Yeah, no worries. I'll go through them. Chat, help us out. Put in what you think when I put the question to you. For me, I wouldn't do Timber to Gabriel. It's a little bit of a sideways move, and I don't know if he's going to start Gabriel. So I would keep Timber. It looks like he'll be back. I think he just pulled up the other day in training. He should be back. Gabriel, I don't think he'll play 90, mate. I think he doesn't want to rush him back. He's got the league to think about. I do Semenyo to Gordon. Semenyo, his agent's in City now, speaking to Man City. So I very, very much doubt that he's going to play anymore for Bournemouth. That deal looks, fairly done. I think it's about 65 million. So for me, I'll go to Gordon and just keep Gabriel. You could swap someone else and have a double up. Do you know what I mean? You could have Timber and Gabriel, which is not a bad setup to have. Eddie says, if I go to Dallo, who would you bench? Gabriel or Riley Tarkowski? Oh, we've done that one, mate. We've done that one. Again, I would, if you wanted to bring him in, I would go O'Reilly and swap him out. But if not, I don't think it's worth the transfer, mate. Frog says, Cunha is captain too risky. He's probably one of the better options, mate. Apart from, obviously Haaland. And if you want to go Ekitike, but for me, I don't think they're gonna batter them. I think Cunha's not a bad shout. Kieran, as Kieran comes back, mate, we'll ask what Kieran thinks. Prod just put Cunha as captain. Is it too risky? I don't mind him, mate.
Yeah, I'm tempted by him. It just would feel a little daft. I don't know. It's between him and Haaland.
Yeah, it was definitely conversation, definitely top 3. So it's not beyond the realms. I think depends what rank. If you want to go for it, I'd go for Cunha, because if he gets anything, Haaland has to get 2 goals, which is a difficult thing to do every single game. Chewy, good seeing the chat, mate. He says sell Anderson to Thaw, Hall, or roll. I'd just roll, mate. What would you do, Kieran? I think Anderson's just a roll for now. A hold, sorry.
Yeah, he probably is, but like Tior is your safety one, but Tior's FPL points are massively boosted by his brace.
Yeah,
and again, I stick to it, right? The thing that will always make me laugh is the interview afterwards, and I shared it on X with Vortamada and Tior.
Yeah,
was Vortamada going, this guy can't header. We were meant to be practicing headers with him yesterday. It was raining too much. He's like, I guess now maybe you don't need practice. But like, clearly they don't think Tior's a good header of the ball. And, so that I think he's good for DEFCON, but he's not great for DEFCON. Yeah. People thought he'd be better with burnout, but it's not really having much of a change. Interestingly, Burnley concede lots of DEFCON to left backs. So Lewis Hall actually has a really high upside for this game. And Lewis Hall's just way more exciting. So again, I'm not saying go for either, but like Hall goes against what I would normally look for from a defender of clean sheet, DEFCON, attacking threat. But I think he's clean sheet, attacking threat. That I'd lean for Hall.
And it is just, I got rid of Hall about 3 game weeks ago, which maybe I should have kept him a little bit through. It paid off at the time, but maybe I should have got to move someone else. But it's minutes as well, though, because he is at risk a little bit. He does like to change a little bit, Eddie. I got him in and he didn't play, or he played like 10 minutes. So be a wee bit careful. But yeah, upside, go for that. Heather says Gabriel from game week 20 after free hit. I think Gabriel's a good shout, as soon as he starts playing, mate. Even through these tough fixtures, we discussed it. I could see, 1-0 Arsenal and Gabriel getting a brace, or at least
6.2 million. It'll be 6.3 by tomorrow, but 6.2 million is an absolute bargain when Timber's 6.5.
Yeah, good point. Com says Senesi to Dallo this game week. I got rid of Senesi a wee while ago, but conceded 4. He still got 2 points, okay, but yeah, I think.
Yeah, I say just appreciate you're bringing in. If you're bringing in a United defender, you're doing it for 3 weeks, and then you'll probably want to move him on. Unless, and that's why I favour Dorgu for 4.1 million. I can bench Dorgu for a little bit because it's not taking up any money out of my squad.
Yeah, no, I like that. Project. Some people are saying don't bring Keane in because Branthwaite back soon. Just spend more on Tarko instead. We were talking about this before we came on the stream. Keane's been phenomenal, and I thought actually Keane was going to be a weak link in the team. He's been phenomenal. He's not just going to drop Keane on a whim. He won't rush Branthwaite back, will he, Kieran? So I think for now, Keane's fine. Keane's absolutely fine until he starts dropping him, which won't be soon, mate.
Yeah, like the potential return is still listed as the 18th of February. The 18th of February, and this is after this is on Premier, so this is EFL injuries. This is after the quote saying Jared on the 23rd, Jared's getting closer to the grass now, so we're hoping we can maybe get him by the end of the month, but it might be a bit longer than that. We need to see. He's not due to integrate back in with the squad for another 2 to 3 weeks, so it's not as if we'll get him back quickly, but it's beginning to look a lot better. So 2 to 3 weeks takes you to the 18th of January, and it's easy at times for us to forget how quick fixtures are coming, but the 18th of January is game week 22, is when they think he would be back. He wouldn't start that one. So the earliest he starts is game week 23. So again, for these 4 fixture runs, I'm absolutely fine with sticking with what I got. And
he had a setback before, Kieran, didn't he? He had a setback before Branthwaite was back earlier. So he could bench as well. He could easily.
I'd rather have the money flexibility because again, game week 24 is when I'm switching over to Chelsea players. That if at that point I end up moving Keane into James instead, it's not the end of the world. And then getting Branthwaite a different route after. Or not even Branthwaite, but getting Tarkowski. Because, Everton played Brighton that week, and then they played Fulham away the following week. Not great games, not awful games. But it's not the end of the world.
Nah. Eddie says, I think in Dallon, who would you bench? Gabriel, I think we had
That
that
was the
one.
same question.
We cleared that one. Proj says, on a wild card, Cherky much better pick than Foden. We said that, mate. And he's cheaper, what, 2.2 cheaper, something along those lines. So for me, yeah, I wouldn't even. I mean, Foden.
There is part of me that's tempted to have both of them. The only reason I won't is because I've already sold Foden and I don't want to buy him back again for more.
Yeah, I think it's maybe, but I mean, you never know. You never know. But yeah, I would rather have Cherky. Plus the money. It's the money difference huge, like you were saying, Kieran. KSE said, question is Semenyo a sell? Is Gordon to buy? I think Semenyo is a sell. He's not going to play again, is he, for Bournemouth?
He might do. Like, Iraola wants... Well, yeah, but he can't sign until the 1st. And they play on the 30th. So, like... He can play the Chelsea game.
I watched the game the other day. Listen, he's still a quality player, and quality players always, return. But the other day, he had absolutely nothing. Got marked out the game, and he just right place, right time for a back heel, and it went in. So, for me, the upside for Gordon's too much.
I was surprised he didn't get booked in the last game because logic said get a cheeky yellow card for arguing with the ref, serve your 5th game suspension in the one against Chelsea, so you've got time to move up to Manchester.
Yeah.
But he didn't get booked, and he's now not going to get booked because Pep won't want to play a sign-in for him. That's already on 5 yellow cards. He'd rather have that yellow card in hand.
Well, that's the thing. Will he play? He might be like, look, I want this transfer to go through. Will he play? I don't know. I think it blunts their attack. Obviously, it does. Animation says, lads, would you do a -4 for United defender? I wouldn't. Kieran, would you? Not for me.
No, not unless you're 100% set that Wolves aren't going to score, and I don't think you can be.
No. Andrew says, last few here, Andrew says, wildcard is Sanchez, Hall, Van Heck, Gabriel, Foden, Minta, Gordon, Cunha, Ekitike, Thiago, Haaland, Dubravka, or John, Mukiele, Keane, and Hutchinson. It's kind of like your wildcard, Kieran.
Yeah, Andrew. A lot of similarity. You've gone Van Heck, Sanchez, Foden, Minta. Like, you've gone Foden, so you've got a slightly weaker bench, but that's absolutely fine. Well, you haven't even got a weaker bench. You've got Mukiele instead of Dorgu, essentially. Good. Yeah, it's a good one, Andrew. I like it. I'm just, like I said, the only reason I'm not on Sanchez is because I think I'm going to want Pedro, Palmer, James for 24 onwards.
Yeah.
I just think there's more upside in having those 3 players, particularly Reece James playing in midfield and on set pieces, I think would just be great. The fact that he has stayed fit during Christmas for the first time in 8 years is a miracle.
Oh, yeah, you always bring it up. It's Christmas time, James. It's time to go. Well, there's still time. You probably pulled out the squad the other day, but Vibe Empire here, Liam says, I'm starting Pickford, Udogie, Gabriel, Pedro Porro, Son, Madison, Bowen, Gibbs White, Haaland, Isaac, and Wood. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hang on. Right. Just stop for a second here, Shane, and read that.
I'm starting Pickford, Udogie, Gabriel, Pedro Porro, Son, Madison, Bowen.
Gibbs White. Stop. After Pedro Porro, read that name.
Son. Oh, God.
You're being wound up here by your cousin.
Got you.
Because he's also starting Chris Wood.
Although, you never know. He might come back for a one time. Yeah, fair one. It's like, Mark Goldbridge reads those things out.
He's also got there Udogie, Porro, Son, and Madison. So he's got 4 Tottenham players.
Lucky guy. Liam, I'll get you. Last viewer, Prod says, aside from FPL, did you get any decent Christmas presents? Does anybody want a links box set? Do you know what? I'm back into links. I got some links, and I like it. Oh, look at that.
This one, Prod.
But that's good.
The funny thing is, so we did Secret Santa this year in our family so that everyone wasn't buying stuff. Then my sister handed me a present. I'm like, hang on a second, you weren't my Secret Santa? And she won the links box set at a tombola at her school. So I wore the jumper as a joke. And I don't know if you did this as well, Proj, but like that morning I went, do you know what? I might use some of this Lynx Africa body wash. I opened the cap and got flashbacks to being like 15 years old in the school washrooms of just like, and like, no, there's no way I could be near this crap. And just like shut it, chucked it straight in the bin. That's gone. What I did get though from what I got from my mum, do you recognise this guy?
Let's see. Yeah, Thunderbirds.
Nope.
Isn't it?
No, mate. Oh. This fella's better than Thunderbirds.
Captain Scarlet.
There we are.
Captain Scarlet, sorry. Captain Scarlet.
Good old
Yeah,
Captain Scarlet. So my mum got me a
We're showing our
Captain
age,
Scarlet.
Kieran.
Nice little retro.
God. Showing our age. Last week, yeah, what did I get? I did get a Lynx box set, and I have been using it, Kieran. I might say, and it's not Christmas without Lynx. Do you know what I mean? You have a shower, you get ready, you come down, cooking chicken.
Oh,
and
not
that.
Lynx, not Lynx.
Like
Lynx is like
Lynx has changed, man. Lynx is back in.
No, it's not. You
take
need
that
to remember,
back.
Shane. You're nearly 50.
I am closer to 50. I'll give you that. I also did get a hat, and I got the new Scotland top. Obviously, because we've gone to the World Cup, and yeah, we're going to qualify.
For a week.
Anyway, that's a different conversation. Animation says Dorgu or Dallo worth a -4. Covered that. No, I wouldn't say to get a -4. And then the last one, mate, the last one on a fantastic night back over Christmas is from Kay. Says Richards and Semenyo to Dorgu and Gordon -4. Mwah, beautiful. I would say yes because Richards won't play. What do you think, Kieran? I would say yeah.
Yeah, if you've got no other players that are starting, I don't like -4s, but like I get it.
That's it. And listen, hey, we've wrapped up. There's still 350 people listening and watching, or both, Kieran. There was over 500 at one point. So,
Colm showing his age as well.
Oh, Mr. Ons. Oh, God. Colm. Yeah. Well, 60s. I mean, we're not that old, Colm, but Colm's not going to like me for that. But yeah, it was good. It's good over Christmas, like you're saying. They joined us, and good luck for this game week. Kieran, you got anything to say before we let these fine men and women get on their way and enjoy the rest of the night? Probably enjoy the darts, man.
No, I'm pretty much out of it, mate. I need to pass out now. I think.
Throats out. Anyway,
hour and a half, we've done well.
We've done well, and we were going to get it close, but we expanded, which was good. Anyway, again, please like and subscribe before you go. That would be absolutely fantastic. We're almost up to 1,000 subscribers, so if we can get that near New Year, that'd be a good present for us. Elsewhere, in terms of content, I am going to do a stream on Friday for Fixture Decoder. We're going to cover the fixtures. And actually, is that light green fixture or dark red fixture true? Apart from that, we'll be back for game week. What are we on? 20 next week? Jesus, the season's going, mate. But for now, listen, thanks very much for joining. Kieran, thank you very much for coming. Even though he was ill, he managed to still get here. Wasn't grinchy. Have a great game week. Have a great weekend. Spend it with your family. And we'll see you all later on. Bye-bye.